The prayer will be offered by the delegate from Anne Arundel County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Please join me in an accessible posture to your own beliefs for today's reflection. The state of Maryland has a long and impactful history. It is important that we understand the context of that history so we can make our state and every community a better place. Our state motto is adopted from the Calvert Family Seal, and it translates to manly deeds, womanly words, or strong deeds and gentle words. These words symbolize strength and action. Within Maryland history and its symbols, it can provide variable meanings. But even with various interpretation, Maryland played a critical role in our nation. Some would say on this very day, on February 17, 1776, Fort Whetstone was being constructed at Whetstone Point in Baltimore, which later became the Fort McHenry, famous for defending Baltimore in the War of 1812. This fort was instrumental. Frederick Douglass, on his return to Maryland in the 1870s, in an address, he spoke of returning to the soil of our birth to meet not only as men, but as Marylanders, children of Maryland, the land whose sparkling fountains I was nursed. Maryland's history, like our nation, should be reviewed and understood. The state of Maryland has promise, and we should all look to the pursuit of happiness for all people. Even in our past transgressions, they need correction. We need to reflect and offer change. I ask everyone in the House to say, amen.
Amen. Quorum call.
Madam Speaker.
All right. Ready? Yep. The clerk will call the roll. There being 136 members present, the House is now in session. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The clerk will read the journal from the previous day.
Annapolis, Maryland, February the 13th, 2026.
Recognizing the Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So much be considered, the reading of the journal.
So order, petitions, memorials, and other papers. House resolutions. Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County. Will the reading clerk please read the, actually after I recognize him, you can read it. It's actually the chair of the Environment and Transportation Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm not sure they've arrived from the Senate yet.
Okay, so I'll go on to the next one. How about the delegate from Howard County? Okay.
Is this about the Lunar New Year?
Recognizing, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. On behalf of the Maryland Legislative Asian American Caucus, I am proud to announce that today is the Lunar New Year Day, the beginning of the Year of the Horse, which symbolizes energy, speed, focus, and progress, and all the good stuff. Lunar New Year is the most important holiday for many Asian Americans, especially the Korean, Chinese, and Vietnamese communities. Since it's a cultural holiday, not a religious one, it has become an increasingly popular public celebration by people from all backgrounds. Since 2007, Maryland has recognized the Lunar New Year as a day of commemoration. Today, we are honored to be joined by community leaders from Montgomery and Howard counties, the two counties with the largest concentration of Asian American populations in Maryland. Madam Speaker, permission to use delegate's name.
Permission granted.
Thank you. After today's floor program, Delegate Chow Wu from Howard County and Montgomery and I will be hosting a reception for all of the members and your guests and staff members in the Howard County Delegation Room in room 218. And now I'm going to recognize the guests from Montgomery County. So please stand. They're at the back balcony. Please stand if you're from Montgomery County. We have Dr. Jing Xu actually is at the front, standing on the floor, who is the president of the Coordination Council of Chinese American Associations. And we have Dr. Ming Li, Dr. Xiuzhu Yang, Dr. Mark Xu, Dr. Ping Lu, Dr. Chuan Ming Li, Jay Guan, Sharon Pan, Andrea Bai, Roger, Sherry, and Zach Lam, David Ho and Manny Li, Lily Zhang, Sichao Bai, Dr. Bei Ma, Jiang Yue Yang, Dr. George Zhou, Nurim Rexidi and her daughter Nafisa Rosie Danmu, Wu Li and Alisa Kim, Tony Aboy, and Wang Dan. Thank you all for joining us today. I want to wish everyone 新年快乐，马年大吉，马到成功. Thank you.
Will the clerk please read the full resolution?
Be it hereby known to all that the House of Delegates of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the Maryland, Asian American, and Pacific Islander community in recognition of the celebration of the 2026 Lunar New Year and the cultures, histories, and exceptional contributions of Maryland's AAPI communities. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on the 17th day of February 2026.
I understand that there are more guests to be recognized. Recognizing the delegate from Howard County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We want to recognize another group of guests who come from Howard County, Montgomery County, and Yang Yu and Kui Dao is there, and Rose Xinran Qi, Yang Tai, Hui Liang, Petra Guilan, Kim Egbo, she's there, and Min Wu, Liv Alanis Myers, Samia Hira, Lakeisha McClendon, Zenia Yang, Patricia Smith, Amy Lowley, Duna Kim, Hin Yu Hu, Misako Oki, Sanji Golab, Joanne Alcantara, Lin Fengchen and his daughter Jamie, Elizabeth Chow, and Mr. Kim Egbo and his son Vincent is here too. Thank you.
Welcome. A little tighter, okay? To the side, all right? Okay. Are they ready? Another House resolution recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to use the delegates' names?
Permission granted.
Thank you. On behalf of Delegate Corman and Delegate Warman, I would like to honor the Greater Bethesda Chamber of Commerce with great pride in recognition of the 100th anniversary of working to support and inspire and advocate for business, growth, and prosperity in our state. Congratulations.
Will the clerk please read the resolution?
Be it hereby known to all that the House of Delegates of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to the Greater Bethesda Chamber of Commerce in recognition of the 100th anniversary of your work supporting, inspiring, and advocating for business growth and prosperity in Maryland. The entire membership extends best wishes on this memorable occasion and directs this resolution to be presented on the 17th day of February 2026.
You're welcome. Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I did want to recognize Allie Williams, who was up there with us, who is the Executive Director of the Chamber, as well as Carla Young, who is up in the gallery. Thank you.
Report of the Committee on Judiciary, report number 3. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 286, Vehicle Laws, Ignition Interlock System Program, required participation. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is order printed for third reading. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 330, Maryland Legal Services Corporation Board of Directors, membership. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is order printed for third reading. Report of the Committee on Judiciary, report number 4. The clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 432, Municipalities, Vagrancy, Repeal of Authority to Prohibit. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is order printed for third reading. Report of the Committee on Health. Report number 2. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 7, State Board of Examiners for Audiologists, Hearing Aid Dispensers, Speech Language Pathologists, and Music Therapists. Authority to issue limited license to protect music therapy. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered for third printing. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 42, Health Occupation State Board of Massage Therapy Examiners, revisions. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered printed for third reading. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 274, State Board of Environmental Health Specialists, Sunset Extension. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered for third printing. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 427, State Task Force on Responsible Use of Natural Psychedelic Substances, Extension. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered printed for third reading. Report of the Committee on Health, report number 3. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 272, Food Establishments, Laboratory Requirement, and On-Farm Food Service Facility License. Favorable amendments. Amendment number 1.
Recognizing the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're
Move so
welcome.
much be considered the reading of the amendment.
So order.
Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 requires MDH to consult with stakeholders and locals when developing regulations, specifies that the bill does not supersede local zoning or land use, and specifies that the bill does not authorize MDH to conduct or require a land value assessment. Please move the amendments, Madam Speaker.
The question before the House is the adoption of the amendment. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. The question now is the adoption of the favorable report as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any additional amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered printed for third reading. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 278, Human Services, Department of Aging and Commission on Aging, the Longevity Ready Maryland Act. Favorable amendments. Amendment number 1.
Recognizing the chair of the committee. I'm sorry. How are you?
Thank you very well. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The chair of the subcommittee.
Move so much be considered the reading of the amendment.
So order.
Amendment number 1 clarifies that the programs and services the Secretary is required to coordinate in implementing the plan should be designed to assist independent living. Amendment number 2 requires the Secretary to maintain a publicly accessible progress tracker for the plan on the department's website. And amendment number 3 requires that each updated plan be informed by other relevant state and local plans and agency collaborations, and alters the membership of the Commission on Aging by adding 2 directors of area agencies on an expert on consumer protection and a veteran. Move the amendments, please.
The question before the House is the adoption of the amendment. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. The question now is the adoption of the favorable report as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any additional amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered for third reading. Printed. Report of the Committee on the Environment and Transportation, report number 2. The clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 55, Vehicle Laws, Speed Monitoring Systems, Residential Districts. Favorable.
Before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered printed for third reading. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 146, Environment On-Site Wastewater Systems, Requirements for Inspection and Pumping Services and Implementation Dates. Favorable amendments. Amendment number 1.
Thank you. Recognizing the subcommittee chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So much be considered the reading of the amendments.
So order.
As amended, this bill requires a landlord of property that is served by a septic system to ensure the septic system has been inspected and pumped out by July 1st, 2028, and before each new tenant occupies the property thereafter. Beginning July 1st, 2028, the bill also requires a contract for the sale of real property with a septic system to include a provision requiring as a condition of the sale that the purchaser ensure the system has been inspected and pumped out. The amendment adds co-sponsors and makes a technical correction. Move the amendments, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The question before the House is the adoption of the amendment. All in favor signifying by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. The question now is the adoption of the favorable report as amended. Oh, there's a question. Yeah, I went too fast for you. Can you let me finish? And I'll be right with you. What happens when you get up so quickly? Sorry. The question now is the adoption of the favorable report as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any additional amendments to the bill as to its title? Recognizing the gentleman from Southern Maryland.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes,
Good
I was
morning.
speaking, but I didn't speak. I waited for you to finish. I was being polite, so I was trying. Could I special order this bill for the purposes of putting together an amendment, if possible?
Recognizing the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We're happy to accept the special order. We just ask that you bring us the amendment so we can see how we can work with you.
Yep, thank you. Move to special order this bill.
What is it?
Madam Speaker, to the appropriate time tomorrow.
Appropriate time tomorrow. So the question before the House is to special order House Bill 146. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 146 has been special order until the appropriate time tomorrow. Thank you. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 164, State Buildings and State Highways, Collection and Disposal of Yard Waste. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is ordered printed for third reading. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 177, Vehicle Laws, Bicycles, Play Vehicles, and Unicycles, Crosswalks. Favorable.
The question before the House is the adoption of the favorable report. All in favor signify by saying aye. No. Opposed, say no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill as to its title? Hearing none, the bill is order printed for third reading. The clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 220, Environment, Water, Individual Unit Meters. Favorable amendments. Amendment number 1.
Recognizing the floor leader. How are you?
I'm fine, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. So much be considered the reading of the amendments.
So ordered.
House Bill 220 authorizes the installation of individual water submeters in certain apartment houses and mobile home parks. It also prohibits any unpaid submetered water bills from being treated as unpaid rent in an eviction proceeding. It basically mirrors the law related to electric and gas submetering. Amendment number 1, as a sponsor, and makes technical changes. Amendment number 2 alters the bill's applicability, submetering requirements, tenant remedies, and requirements for landlords, including expanding the bill's applicability to include mobile home parks, clarifying eligible costs that may be imposed on a submetered unit, striking requirements related to leak detection monitors, establishing processes for continued billing in the event of a malfunctioning submeter, establishing a private cause of action as a potential remedy to a tenant complaint about a submeter unit, and establishing requirements for landlords that require a tenant to make payments for submetered water or sewer services to a third party. Madam Speaker, I move the amendments.
The question before the House is the adoption of the amendment. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. The question now is the adoption of the favorable report as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The favorable report is adopted. Are there any additional amendments to the bill or to its title? Recognizing the minority leader.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Speaker. If the floor leader, I believe the subcommittee chair, would entertain a question. I think you said, what I saw on the bill, that the bill would prohibit the submetered or individual metered water charges to be included or viewed as rent or failure to pay rent in connection with an eviction proceeding. Is that correct? That's what the bill does?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Who would pay the water then? So if someone owns a 3-unit apartment house building, you submeter it ABC, a water line typically runs through all 3 units. So when they put a water tap in or a water main from the road into a apartment building or multifamily building, there's typically a line that runs through all of the different units, and then you just get your water drawn down from it. So if unit B, in the example I gave you, A, B, C, left to right, if the center unit B just doesn't pay their water bill, who's responsible for that?
Well, thank you for the question, Delegate. First of all, this is enabling legislation in the sense that you do not, if you're a landlord, have to submeter your water. You can have a universal water bill, or you can also do a system called ratio utility billing. You don't have to submeter the water. But if you submeter the water, then in all cases of the examples I cited, including submetering, if the water bill being paid is the responsibility of the landlord.
Right, and that's, I guess, my fundamental flaw, I think, with the legislation, having done a lot of litigation, not landlord-tenant litigation, this is litigation involving how these buildings and how these projects work. Your water provider, they're not interested in going and collecting from 50 units, 20 units, 30 units. They charge the landowner who draws the gallons of water off of the main. And that person is responsible. And then you're indicating that landowner, landlord, commercial or multifamily property owner, they can choose, they don't have to, but they can choose, which I think is fair, quite frankly. I appreciate the intent of it. It's fairer to say, hey, you have a family of 4 in your unit, and I had a teenage daughter once. Sometimes they use more water sometimes than other people might. You're just perhaps an elderly person living next door. You're not using as much water. It's difficult for me to do the ratio method and determine who's really using the gallons, because it all flows through the same system. And so I think it's fair to say you're responsible for your water, but what you're suggesting is that if the landlord does that, they then can't say, hey, you just decided to not pay your water bills. I've got hundreds, thousands of dollars of water bills. And what I'm afraid of is the water company says, I'm just going to cut water off to that building. I haven't been paid. or the landlord has to say, I have to eat thousands of dollars in costs for a tenant who won't pay water, and I can't use it as grounds. As long as they pay their rent, I can't get them out of the property. I can't enforce it. So I'm basically paying, or I'm subjecting everyone else in the building to your water's going to be cut off, which is a public health matter. Is that how it would potentially work?
Well, actually, with the bill is specific about that it can't be used in an eviction proceeding. That a non-payment of water bill cannot be used in an eviction proceeding. That does not mean that the tenant doesn't owe the landlord the amount of money for the water. They do. They owe that, and they are obligated to pay that.
Yeah. We have an expression in law we call people judgment proof. We suggest that if I sue you and I go after to collect something that you owe and I don't have any enforceable means of doing it, then it's just a piece of paper. I've known attorneys who've gotten judgments for millions of dollars against people or entities that don't have anything, and therefore that's why typically we would allow those types of things to be used in eviction, not because we want to evict people, but because we want to have the leverage to say, you have to pay your water bill, or else the entirety of the multifamily unit tenants all suffer, or else I got to eat it as landlord, and if I eat those costs, then I just raise the rents to pass them on to everybody. And that, I think, and I ask, we don't have to engage too much more in the colloquy, would you agree or permit me at least to special order it for purposes of possible amendment or a little bit further discussion about that for tomorrow?
To the chair.
Recognizing the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Very happy to work with our friend, the Minority Leader, on potential amendments. Please just share them with the subcommittee chair and the committee chair when you can.
I will. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The question before the House is to special order House Bill 220. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 220 has been special order until the appropriate time tomorrow. The clerk will read the bond initiatives and the committee assignment.
Introductory House Bond Initiatives number 41, February 17, 2026, referred to appropriations.
Letters of reassignment. The clerk will read the letter.
House Bill 1205, reassigned to Ways and Means and Appropriations. House Bill 1240, reassigned to Ways and Means.
Hearing no objection, the letters are ordered journalized. This ends the work of the desk. Committee announcements, appropriations.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Appropriations Committee will have bill hearings at 1 o'clock.
Economic matters.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Economic Matters will meet for bill hearings at 1 p.m.
Environment and transportation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The House Environment and Transportation Committee will meet for bill hearings at 1 p.m.
Government, labor, and elections.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. GLE will meet at 1 p.m. for bill hearings.
Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Health Committee will meet at 2 p.m. for bill hearings. Please listen for subcommittee announcements.
Judiciary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The House Judiciary will meet at 1 p.m. for bill hearing.
Ways and Means.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Ways and Means Committee will meet at 1 p.m. for bill hearings.
Subcommittee announcements. Recognizing the lady from Baltimore City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Natural Resources and Open Spaces Subcommittee will meet at 3 p.m. or 15 minutes after the end of ENT hearings on Zoom. Thank you.
Recognizing the delegate from Howard County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Public Health Minority Health Disparities Subcommittee will meet at noon. Thank you.
Recognizing the Vice Chair of the Government, Labor, and Elections Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Government Operations and Ethics Subcommittee will meet at noon today.
Thank you. Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Energy Subcommittee will meet after ENT bill hearings, and other subcommittee meetings we'll figure out as we go. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing the Vice Chair of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Insurance Subcommittee of the Health Committee will meet at 12 o'clock on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing the delegate from Prince George's.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Law Enforcement Subcommittee will meet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Recognizing the delegate from Baltimore City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Health Occupations Subcommittee will meet on Zoom at noon.
Thank you. Recognizing the delegate from Prince George's County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., the Prince George's County County Affairs Committee will be meeting on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other subcommittee announcements?
Madam Speaker.
Recognizing, yes, the delegate from Prince George's.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
You're
Please
welcome.
disregard the Law Enforcement Subcommittee will not meet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Will not.
Thank
meet.
you.
Thank you. Any other subcommittee announcements? Recognizing the delegate from Howard.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We've got a lot going on in the Health Committee today, and rather than have our members go 3 places at one time, the Public Health Minority Health Disparities will move its meeting time to 12:45 on Zoom.
Thank you. Any other corrections? All right. Now we're on to delegation announcements. Any delegation announcements? Yep, recognizing the delegate from Howard County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Howard County delegation will not be meeting tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other delegation announcements? How about caucus announcements? Recognizing the chair of the Maryland Democratic Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, the House Democratic Caucus will be meeting tomorrow morning at 8:45 in room 150. Thank you.
Thank you. Recognizing the chair of the Maryland Legislative Latino Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, unfortunately, the next installment of Cafe Con Amigo will be canceled for tomorrow morning. Please look out for your emails on a rescheduled date. And then also all of those that desire to have our endorsement on your bills, tomorrow is the deadline for legislative review. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other caucus announcements? Recognizing the chair of the Legislative Black Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is the first reminder picture for the Legislative Black Caucus on Thursday the 19th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Recognizing the delegate from Anne Arundel, the chair of the Health Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have a lot happening, and I'm still new, so apparently I can't do math. To correct the record, we have subcommittees at noon, and that is the Insurance and the Health Occupation Subcommittee will be meeting at noon on Zoom, and the Public Health, the Public Health and Minority Health Disparities and the Insurance Subcommittee will be meeting at noon, and the Health Occupation Subcommittee will be meeting at 12:45. Thank you. A lot of moving parts, and we'll get it right soon.
We will. We just have to be flexible. Recognizing the chair of the Veterans Caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Veterans Caucus will not meet tomorrow morning. We will not meet tomorrow morning. We will postpone it to the following week.
Any other caucus announcements or corrections? Seeing none, we're going to move on now to Black History Moment, and that will be offered by the delegate from Prince George's County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Colleagues, during the Black History Month, we have reflected on stories of courage, perseverance, and quiet excellence that changed the course of our country. Today, I want to share a story that is both part of our Black history and part of my family. The story of a man whose life reminds us how high we can go when we refuse to accept limits. When we think about Black pioneers in aviation, we think of giants like the Tuskegee Airmen and Eugene Jock Bullard, the first ever African-American military pilot, a man who proved his brilliance in the sky long before our country was ready to see it. We remember the early Black aviators who built and trained at airfields in our own region, and leaders like Colonel Harvey Barney Barnett Betts Jr., the first African-American pilot in the Maryland Air National Guard in the 1960s, who broke barriers flying fighter and attack jets for this state. They refused to accept no as the final answer and pushed through locked doors so future generations could fly. My father, William Sproul Sr., was not a Tuskegee Airman, but he stands firmly in that same proud tradition. He was born and raised in Rich Square, North Carolina, a small rural town, but my dad always carried big dreams and was very adventurous. After serving in the Army as a paratrooper with the 101st Airborne Division in the U.S., with the 8th Airborne Division in Germany, he and my mom moved to Maryland, and he decided that his future was in the sky. Aviation was not a field that welcomed many African Americans, but my father was ambitious, hardworking, and determined to be the best. He would tell me about the difficult tests and how difficult they were to become a pilot for the U.S. Park Police, and how proud he was to finish the training. In 1973, the year I was born, he became one of the 3 founding members of the U.S. Park Police helicopter unit, and he made history as the first African-American pilot in that unit. It wasn't long before his excellence and leadership were formally recognized. In 1975, just 2 years later, he became the commander of the unit, and to this day, he remains the first and only African-American commander and the first and only African-American pilot ever to serve in that helicopter unit. From the air, he protected our monuments, responded to emergencies, and watched over our communities across Maryland, D.C., and the National Capital Region. My father was also a fixed-wing pilot, flying both single-engine and multi-engine airplanes, and he was also a flight instructor for both helicopters and airplanes. I fondly remember when my father flew my mom, my brother, and me over the Grand Canyon on the way to visit our grandparents in Los Angeles, California, in his twin-engine airplane. When he retired from the Park Police, he did so as a ranking major, and he still wasn't done making history. He went on to be the first national aviation manager for the U.S. National Park Service, bringing that same steady hand, discipline, and commitment to excellence to a national leadership role. For me, this is not just a professional resume. It is the story of my daddy, a man who believed that if you are going to do something, you do it well, you do it with integrity, and you make it easier for the next person coming behind you. His journey reminds us that progress is built by people who may never seek the spotlight, but who change what is possible simply by refusing to give up. Here in Maryland, where public service is our calling, his life is a reminder of the work that we do. The policies we shape and the opportunities we create can help the next young person with a big dream from a small town find their own runway and take off. Colleagues, I am your Vice Protocol Chair Delegate Denise Roberts, and this is your Black History Moment. And if you would please join me in celebrating my father, and I would like to ask my father, William Sproul Sr., and his son over there to please stand and wave and be recognized by this body, the House of Delegates for the state of Maryland.
Thank you so much for your service, and your daughter reflects you beautifully. All right, you have a blessed day. Congratulations to both. You want to come up? You want to take a picture? May I take this off?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Why don't you do them first? Do them first. Okay, want to do one here? Thank you very much. No, it's good, it's good. Where are we? Now we're doing personal and guest announcement, and I would like to recognize a delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
My pleasure.
This morning we heard that one of America's great leaders passed, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. I was asked today and all of the Omega Psi Phi brothers throughout the country to make an announcement in their prospective legislative sessions. In 1988, he ran for President of the United States, securing 7 million votes in a failed attempt to become president. But his efforts made it very clear that America has promised, and as we know later, Barack Obama became the President of the United States. He was initiated into the Omega Psi Phi fraternity at North Carolina A&T in 1960. I'm just going to read one quote because it could go on and on. This is the quote that I like the most. If you fall behind, run faster. Never give up, never surrender, and rise up against the odds. Never look down on anyone unless you're looking down to help them to stand up. With that, I would like to just take a moment of silence for the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. May he rest in peace. Any
Madam
other personal or
Madam
guest
Speaker?
announcement? Yes. Recognizing the delegate from Frederick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So we are very thrilled to recognize Hartley House to our house. Hartley House, while it resides in Frederick, provides comprehensive services free of charge to survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, intimate partner violence, human trafficking, and they provide services for the entire state, as well as to students and child abuse. Please give them a warm welcome, and please stop by room 170 to learn more about what they do to support our vulnerable citizens throughout the state. Hartley House.
Welcome. Recognizing the other delegate from Frederick County.
It's a Frederick event today. Thank
You
you,
are
Madam
popular
Speaker.
today. Go ahead.
Thank you. Permission to use a delegate's name and one
Permission
of your staff's name?
granted. Granted.
Thank you. On behalf of Hood College alum, Delegate Ken Kerr, our own Patrick O'Leary, and myself, we're thrilled to have some representatives from Hood College here out in Frederick today. Also on behalf of my colleagues, Delegate Simpson, Delegate Pippy, Delegate Siliberti, and Delegate Miller, who all represent Frederick. We have for participating in Independent Higher Education Day, they are being accompanied by our president of Hood College, Debbie Ricker, and director of government relations, Helen Profiter. And we have students here with us today, Kimberly Lopez Alonso, Nakia Thompson, Ava Rate, Jordan Jones, Grace Manthai, Grayson Van Bemmel, all sitting in our front gallery. Please join me, colleagues, in welcoming them here to the House. Thank you.
Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Appreciate these delegates' names.
Permission granted.
On behalf of Delegates Wallach and Warman and myself, we have a visiting high school junior from District Olivia Ziza, somewhere behind me.
Welcome. Recognizing the other delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That one outranks me. I'd like you to join me in welcoming two Wheaton residents who are here as part of the Chinese New Year celebration. They're up in the gallery, Tanya Bowie and Wan Dang, who are two community leaders, two Democratic Party leaders, and two leaders in really growing the influence of the AAPI community in our state.
Welcome. Recognizing the delegate with a wonderful, I love that blazer, that color, from Frederick.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, I have on the green velvet jacket today to remind everyone that the Irish celebration is coming up on March the 11th. We are still working out our awardee and the beneficiary of the proceeds from the event, so stay tuned for those. I'll have those for you by next week. But for now, just keep the date open, March 11th, Galway Bay. Thank you.
Madam Speaker.
Yeah, let's go, do it. Recognizing my Speaker Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. They're just now leaving the gallery, but there was a large group of people here from the University of Baltimore. The last one is there, they're waving, so cheer really loudly and they'll hear you. Thank you for joining us in Annapolis today.
Madam Speaker?
Yes, recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam
You're
Speaker.
welcome.
I have two personal and guest announcements. May I use the delegates' names, please?
Permission granted.
Thank you. On
You're
behalf
welcome.
of Delegate Jared Solomon, Delegate Aaron Kaufman, and I, we'd like to welcome two District 18 constituents, two lovely children, London and Mary, who live right by me, actually, in North Kensington. So they're here today to do some advocacy work with their mom, Michelle Whitaker. And so if they're here, can they stand, please? There they are.
Welcome.
Thank you. And then my second announcement, Madam Speaker, is
Yes.
I'd like to welcome our friends from the Multiple Sclerosis Society. MS is a leading, it is an autoimmune condition that impacts our nervous system. And it is MS Society is one of the leading organizations dedicated to helping people with MS, funding research and providing education on the condition. They are here today to advocate for their policy priorities. Please welcome them to the chamber. Thank you.
Welcome.
Madam Speaker.
Recognizing the delegate from Prince George's County.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I am pleased to welcome in the gallery right behind you, Madam Speaker, some of our constituents, National Coalition of 100 Black Women from Prince George's County. Can we give them a round of applause, members of the county?
Recognizing the delegate from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would be remiss. I think it was last week I had one daughter here. Today I have the second daughter here, Kaylin Phillips, who is also vice principal at Owings Mills Elementary School.
Welcome. Recognizing the delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, today is Maryland Independent Higher Education Day. There are over 100 students here meeting with all of you to represent 13 state-aided institutions. They're here to discuss the Sellinger program along with the Capital Grant program. So please join me in welcoming them to Annapolis.
Welcome. Recognizing
And there's a second announcement as well for Free State PTSA. PTA, which is a statewide PTA representing all PTAs in Maryland, and they're holding their annual advocacy day this evening. The reception is going to be at 6:30 in room 170. If you'd love to stop by, they'd love to see you. Thank you.
Welcome. Recognizing the other delegate from Montgomery County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to ask the body to welcome my shadow for the day, Darius Brooks. He's up here with his auntie, Carla Young from the Bethesda Chamber of Commerce. Thanks, guys.
Welcome. Recognizing the delegate from Howard County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like the body to help me in welcoming from Howard County and Anne Arundel County some high school and middle school students who on a day off decided to come here instead of staying in bed. And they are from the Youth Leadership Institute of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sororities Iota Lambda Omega chapter. And I would also like you to thank our colleagues who have been allowing them to shadow them today. So up in the rear balcony. Stand up, guys.
Recognizing the delegate from Baltimore City.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think he's already gone, but there is a constituent here from District 15. I will bring them to you from Poolsville High School, Asher Smith. He is here, like many students, taking the day off to shadow his auntie. In the process, fun fact, I've known his mother since elementary school at Beale Elementary, go Dragons. So he's around, and I'll take him around to District 15. Thank you.
Welcome. Recognizing the delegate from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Permission to say delegates and a senator's name?
Permission granted.
On behalf of my colleagues, Delegate Ross, Delegate Bandari, and your friend and mine, Senator Carl Jackson, just a reminder that District 8 night, the first one ever, is tonight over in the Senate office building. And special guest, again, your friend and mine, County Executive Klaus Meyer will be there, so don't miss that.
What kind of food?
Food from Bombay Nights to honor our South Asian constituents in District 8.
Okay, thank you. Recognizing the other delegate from Baltimore County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just asked the House to help us welcome a District 11 guest who's in the gallery, Rafi Rohn.
Welcome. Any other personal or guest announcement? Seeing none, quorum call.
Madam Speaker.
Has everyone recorded their presence? The clerk would take the call. There being 135 members present, the House is still in session. Recognizing the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stands adjourned until Wednesday, February 18th at 10 o'clock a.m., legislative date February 15th.
And thank you everyone for being flexible. Have a great day.